Hello, everybody. We are live from Can You Survive charity event 2023. We are in the red game, and our final two from the red game, Alan and Arliana, are walking in.
Bringing the members of our jury! Red jury!
Arliana and Alan, our final two of the red game. I would have liked you guys in order, but that is okay. We have Katie, Tana, Jason,
Love you
Rhea,
guys. Yes, I do. You give nice Brandon today, guys.
Lauren,
Oh, you want to Lauren? Fine. Good night. Someone voted me out.
Ben, hello, and Mike voted out of our last tribal council. This is our jury from the red game. The jury will have an opportunity to question our final two.
Guys, we're here, the final tribal. First off, let's give it up for our final two. These beautiful people have been fighting it out to get to this very moment to plead their case to you. Now the power shifts. So our jury is going to each ask a question of the final two. I think it doesn't matter whether it's addressed to one or both. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Just one question each, right?
One question each juror.
Oh, so one, like I get to ask one.
You get to ask one question and decide whether you want
Okay.
Alan to answer or Bo to answer or Aliana to answer. Get it? Cool?
Yep.
Okay. Then, after that is done, you guys will get a chance to talk for about a minute about what you want to tell the jury that you maybe didn't get a chance to tell them in the jury questioning. And then we will vote for our winner. Okay. Ben, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
You don't have to stand up. You
will.
can just ask. Don't worry, I will.
Congrats, guys. Proud of you both. For me, this is an extremely unsurprising final two. I think you both set yourselves up really well to survive every single round. So congrats to you.
Thank you, Ben.
I do wish I saw more differentiating moves when I played with you guys. I am going to be looking for like specific things that you did differently and things that made the game more interesting. I did have a question for each of you, but I guess I'll just choose one. I want to know, what is something you did in this game that you don't think has been done in any Survivor game before? Like, what is something that you invented in terms of like social strategy that you have not seen before? This is something you came up with, and you can be really proud of. And we can start with Arliana.
That's a difficult question because there's been a lot of Survivor games. I mean, I would say maybe there's kind of maybe a couple things I could say here. To me, when I look at Survivor games, my immediate thought is you don't really see like bigger people playing Survivor. And so to me, this was like, I'm going to challenge myself to be able to do something like this. And then my other part of it is, which I guess you do see in Survivor games, but it was also different. I am very big on people. I just love people and I love hearing their stories. I love getting to know people. It's genuine, but it's also part of the game of like, I want to be so likable that people are like, man, like I need her to be here. So that's not necessarily something new, but I feel like maybe my approach and how I do it is not always something that you see.
I think that the one world twist with blood versus water, that's new for this game. I think I took actual advantage of the one world twist. I got to know every single person on their tribe, my tribe. I got to know who Katie was working with, who she wasn't working with. I took actual advantage of that one world format. It allowed me to make bonds with Arliana. It allowed me to make bonds with Jason. that allow me to make bonds with you. I feel like that's something necessarily not invented, but this game invented that, and I feel like I took real advantage of that.
All right, great. Thanks, both of you.
Thank you, Ben.
All right, Lauren, you want to go next? Sure.
Okay, congrats.
Can you guys stand up here without asking for too much?
In the spotlight again. Okay, I'll probably be much more concise than Ben, so I don't forget my question. Okay, so that's gonna be the same question for both of you. So Alan, we made the final 2 deal and everything, and I told you I wasn't gonna vote for you. Arliana, I didn't spend any time working with you in the game, like literally whatsoever. So my question is specifically me. Why should I vote for you? Like, why should I like be satisfied voting for you to win the game?
I feel like you and I are players. You respect an amazing game. I respect an amazing game. That's why we had to vote you out. I feel like you think I played a good game too, and I truly think that game is worthy enough of your vote. Yes, I made some deals. I cashed some checks that bounced for sure. But that was definitely after the Katie blind side and forcing the Jason vote. So it wasn't as if I was giving you checks that were bouncing. You were bouncing some checks off me too. And I needed to make sure I was safe. My name wasn't coming out there, and you were kind of silent and unknowing of the vote that was coming towards you.
Okay, so you're right. We did not play closely and were aligned at all in this game. But I think that is not always a deciding factor. I think a deciding factor is truly looking at game. And so when I look at this game, you know, I feel like a lot of times the people that are viewed as like the most competitive players are often people that are like physically competitive. And I think I brought that, but I also feel like I brought the aspect of like being genuine, being social, but the competitive part of it, there was a lot of strategy that went on. And I know that you may not have known the strategy because we didn't work together closely, but I'm really hoping that as we finish the questions and you hear our speeches, you do get to really hear like what were parts of the games that you may not be aware of. So I guess my ask of you is just to look at those things and determining it, because I know like you may have seen his game a little bit more, but I just would love for you to hear where my game was coming from, even if you weren't in the mix of it.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you, Lauren.
Mike?
What's up, guys? Just got voted out 30 minutes ago, so I really do not have a question. I just want to say I am so proud of you guys and get to know you guys on a personal level and just play the game with you too. In different parts, but we did, and then we got to know each other as people, and it was just really nice and genuine. Oh man, this is tough. I don't know. What's the main reason? Meaning, you played a complete game. It's such a long game. What was the main reason that you need to tell us why you won? You know, because you got there for a reason. You're so close, and you both deserve it. Tell me why. The main why. Just the why.
I worked my ass off the last 4 days. Whether I was up against the wall after when some of my closest allies were gone, amazing plays. I worked my ass off. I worked every relationship I possibly could. And not just the game relationships, but personal relationships. You know, you and I we were literally like this the whole game, and I'm so happy we were able to come together like that and have a couple votes together, where we trusted each other. I feel like my relationships were so strong that it propelled me to these seats. And when I wasn't sure that I was safe, I won 3 individual immunities. The last one to be sitting right here, and unfortunately to put you in that chair. I think I honestly played the best all-around game, and I think I would be an exceptional person to win this season of Blood versus Water, and I'd be honored. Appreciate that.
coming out here, I questioned a lot if I should even play because I thought I couldn't hang with people. And so I told myself when I come out here, I'm going to prove that I can hang with anybody, regardless of who they are. Like, I'm going to come out here and do what I can. I am a fiercely loyal player, and I think from the beginning, there were people that we aligned with to make sure that we were playing together and voting together. I feel like there was a lot of strategy that took place and decisions that took place, and it takes not always telling the truth to people and hiding things well. There were people in this game that when you say the core four, I knew that was not true. In my head, I knew where that actually stood. And so I deliberately did not want to give away like how close I was with certain people. And so I feel like in every way of the game, whether it was strategy, whether it was social, whether it was challenges, I feel like I was able to hang in every single way. We all went through the elements together. But like I said, it was something I really questioned if I could even do, because I have this like mentality of like, can I really hang with people that have done this over and over, or have, they work out every day or whatever. But I was like, nope, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to show that I can do every aspect of this game, and just hang with the rest of y'all. Yeah. So
great answers. I'm so proud of you guys.
Thanks.
It's fun to live, compete, and just play with you guys.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dog.
Maria. Came so fast. I was thinking. All right, just want to say I'm so proud of you guys. I meant it when I said I want to see you guys there, and I'm happy to see that came to fruition. I played a very intentionally messy game. I definitely had some lies. I definitely had some betrayals. But I always knew what my next steps were. I know that you guys were talking a lot about like the honesty that you had and like the relationships that you had, but can you give me a specific example of either betrayal or a betrayal or a lie that you told someone that helped further your game specifically?
You want me to start?
Do you mind?
No, go ahead.
Think about it.
I have I think maybe a couple of examples. I really wanted people to feel like I was with them, even when I knew that I couldn't be with them at that moment. I feel like there were numerous times that Mike and I had conversations like, we got to make sure we have each other's back. And I knew that I wasn't being truthful with him. I deliberately went to Alan and Katie to try to let's put a plan to flush his extra vote, and tell him some certain things to try to ensure that he'll play it. So things like that. And people that I worked closely with, I know we all probably told a few white lies to each other as well. I feel like once you made the decision to not vote with the group that we had since the beginning, in my mind, I was like, I just don't know if I can have Ria's back much longer. Even though we were talking to each other like, we've got this, I knew that if she wasn't able to protect what we needed to happen in that moment, then I don't think I can protect her. Even though I was telling you, like, I've got your back. So, yeah.
Probably the biggest lie I told was to Ben this morning. I was making sure that I wasn't a name in his mouth, because Katie Tana had just been voted out. My game was thrown upside down. Lauren had just won another individual immunity. I felt exceptionally low. So I knew I had to come up with some type of plan. I needed someone, I needed to see if I could be potentially aligned with the people who were clearly not aligned with me. And I told Ben I would love to work with you. Is there a path for the three of us to work together? He said yes. I said, well, let's vote Mike. I'll tell Mike it's him. Let's go Mike. And that was the plan. Let's keep it from Mike. Let's make sure he knows that it's him, and we blindside Ben. Mm-hmm. And it turns out one of them had an idol that could have been used, and I think that was a huge point in my game to not only have Ben go, but not have him be saved by another idol and one of us being idled out. So that move, I think this morning, truly propelled me to knock out Ben, Lauren, Mike. Unfortunately, I had to vote Jason. I was forced to. I never wanted to write his name down. Another humongous threat in this game. It set me up to lay those dominoes down and to make sure I'm sitting right here.
Thank you both.
Thanks, Rhea.
Thanks.
Yep, go ahead.
It's me. Hi guys.
Hey, buddy.
I can't be more pleased to see you both here. Like, you guys know how much I love you both. Congratulations on a tremendous game, and I respect you both so much. My question is for both of you, and it doesn't matter who starts, but can you tell me something that you learned about yourself personally through this journey in these last couple of days?
Yeah, let's start. I mean, I know I've touched on this, like, I'm gonna try not to cry. I doubt myself a lot. I do. And I feel like, a lot of times, like, I let my mind determine what I think about myself. And so coming out here, I immediately was like, and I even said to my sister, like, I'm one of the biggest people. I don't have a chance. Like, I don't have, you know, but I had to, like, remind myself, like, when I look at Survivor as a whole, there's so many people in Survivor that were not challenge beasts. And even when I say that, I'm like, but I did win challenges. I did have an individual immunity. I did show, even when we were in our tribes, like, I was able to hang just like anybody else. And so I feel like it caused me to say, like, why do I doubt myself in these ways? Like, I don't know many people that could come out to something like this and do this for 4 days. I think a lot of people in my life all said I was crazy. All said, who would choose to not eat? Who would choose to be in the elements? Who would do those kind of things? And so to me, like, this was a big thing for me to prove to myself that I can do it. And I don't have to question myself. If I put my mind to something, like, I'm going to do it. So.
Love that.
Thanks. And I love that saying.
I learned that I'm very adaptable. Each round was different than the last, and to see a couple of my closest allies go, I knew I needed to do something. And sleeping last night, knowing that I needed a clear head to wake up in the morning and to make some moves. I learned that I can be adaptable. I can figure out a plan. I can be confident in some of the people I'm working with, and be confident in the people I'm talking to, and confidence itself. I'm not the biggest person here. Challenges. I'm super competitive. I love to win challenges. I would have never thought I would win 3 puzzle challenges or 2 puzzle challenges. So I learned that I'm adaptable, and in this game, adaptability is so key. If you're one-minded, you're screwed. You're not going anywhere. You have to be able to move. Once you were gone, I was like, okay, unfortunately, Rhea needs to go next. And being able to shift, being able to say, yes, allies, but it's time, is hard. But it's exactly what I needed to do, and it's exactly what I learned, and it's what I've proven is key in this game, is adaptability.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
Thank you, Jason.
First off, I want to say that you two played the best game, or the best all-around game, and also just the most deserving of being here as the final 2. Arliana brought up at Tribal Council, and the core idea was brought up, perception versus reality. I'd like for each of you to tell me what your initial perception was of the other player versus the reality of what played out in the game.
Of the core 4?
Of each other.
Of each other, okay.
Yeah.
My perception of Arliana is exactly who she is. She is warm, kind, open, honest. loving. We've bonded more on a personal level than on a game level. I learned that she is an absolute amazing human, and that's what I'm leaving this game with, is that I played this game with an amazing person and with amazing people. And she's a hell of a goddamn competitor. Hell of a competitor. I'm so proud to say that we're sitting here together. And the reality is everything I just said. Everything I just said. She is exactly who she is in this game. She treats people with kindness, honesty, respect, and there's nothing I would ever want more in a friend, in someone that I'm playing a game with, or, you know. So that's my perception was exactly the reality. She is just an all-around incredible human being.
Thanks, Ellen. So when, you know, I think my initial perception is when we were like entering where all the players are, and you're trying to like read people because you can't talk to them. My immediate thought was like, oh, this guy is going to be a competitor, like for sure. You know, like I immediately was like, he just looks like it's in him. So, but as far as personality, I mean, from the very beginning, I think I connected pretty quickly with Katie. And to hear Tana connected pretty quickly with Alan. So it just kind of like made sense. Like, then like we've got to make sure that we're protecting each other. And so in getting to know them and hearing about just watching them together as a couple, I think you can see the love they have for each other, the love that they have for their kids. And to me, when I see that, like that says a lot about a person. And so that's kind of like what I think initially I saw, but then when you see the interaction with everybody, I feel like Alan was always the first to congratulate someone. He was always the first to say, you know, great job, buddy, and go give them a hug. And like Alan said, like the more we got to know each other on a personal level, like he's shared a lot with things like, you know, he never ever takes for granted taking a moment to say I love you to his kids, you know, just how much he loves Katie. And like, it's, to me, like that is a quality person when you can watch them with how they are with everybody, but also just he beams when he talks about his family. And you even see it in the interaction with us. I mean, he is just a positive human being. And, you know, I mean, we know in these games you get to know people on a deeper level, but I just absolutely love that this is who I'm sitting next to. Like,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tana. Hi, baby.
sorry to make you cry.
I actually don't have a question. I want to say my final three was with you and you. My core four was with you, you, and you. The common denominator in both those plans are the two of you. How perfect is that? No matter what happens right now, this is a win for the home team. And that was me and Alan's plan all along. Whether he won, whether I won, and somehow in some world, whether you win, it's a win. And I know I've gotten to know you so deeply that I know that for very different reasons, but equally important, this is important for you and you. And I respect that. I had a lot to say, but I might be done because I don't really remember. You guys both played great games. And I think I already said this, but no matter what happens, this is the way it was supposed to be. And each time someone was voted out and I thought that one of you was going to go, my heart sunk. So when Mike won an individual immunity 2 rounds ago, my initial thought was, this isn't good. And then I thought about it, I thought, this is perfect, because this is what puts you two here. Good luck, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Now we will shift over to you two to give your final speeches. I'm going to give you about a minute each, so kind of try to wrap it all up if you can. You want to start, Arliana?
Okay. You know, like coming out here, it was something that I genuinely debated. And to be able to come out here and to meet all of you was one of the best decisions I ever made. I feel like I aligned myself with the people that I needed to, and we kept each other in the know of things, even when people would come and say, like, this is what's going on. And I wanted to make sure that I aligned with people that I knew without a doubt they would have my back. And so I feel like that's what happened. I was able to win an individual immunity. There were several that I came in second. There were challenges when we did our, our tribe challenges, like the catching challenge where, I caught a ton of them, and I think people were like, whoa, so I feel like I really proved myself as a competitor. Strategy wise, I feel like I wanted to never be on someone's radar. I want to say the first half of the game, I heard from multiple people, I've never heard your name. It never get brought up. Everybody loves you, which kind of like scares you at the same time, but everybody loves you. I heard you were the morale of the tribe or like things like that. And so that was very deliberate for me to make sure that, if it came up, like to vote me out, that people would be like, no, like I wanted to make sure that people had my back. And then the strategy portion of it, there were things that, I know that I came up with people. There were things that I pushed needed to happen. And I would say, this is what we need to do. So it wasn't just me going along with people. I know the people that I was closest to very much knew that I had ideas and this is what we need to make sure happens. And this is what we need to do to try to make this be flushed or things like that. And I didn't ever want to come across that way to everyone, because I didn't want everyone to feel like, especially the people that I wasn't closely working with, I deliberately wanted to be like, what do you think? Or like, okay, that sounds good, knowing that I already knew what needed to take place and what needed to happen. So I would just say that I think all around, I did do a great job in this game. And I think all around, I knew what I needed to do to get to this point.
Thank you. Alex?
First off, this game means so much to me. It means so much to me. I love this game because I love meeting people. I love meeting people I would never meet in real life and truly bonding with them. I think of this game in 4 phases: tribal phase, swap phase, merge phase, and end game. The tribal phase, I was exceptionally social. I tried to make bonds with everybody. I had a bond so good I was given a clue to an immunity idol and took it. In the first hour of this game, I was handed it. I was given it to by somebody. In the swap phase, I was able to distinguishedly pick a team that I knew I could be aligned with in the swap, and that would probably be a detriment to the other captain. For the players on there, I strategically picked players that I thought would win challenges. Little did I know we were going against each other, but that was where my mindset was at in the swap phase. I needed to be with people who I trusted and who trusted me in case there was anything crazy going on. The merge phase, all the relationships that I worked on in the tribal phase got me into and got me through the merge phase. I knew exactly what the threats were. I knew who was going to win this game, and I needed to vote them out one by one by one by one by one. And unfortunately, it's these 5 right here. All of you were going to win this game if you were sitting here. The forced Jason vote was my least favorite vote in this entire game. But it propelled me, and it said, all right, he's not here anymore. It's time for a game. It's time for me. Which brings me to my end game. Mike, our relationship and your relationship with me got me through that end game. From the start of this game, we were talking, we were buddies, we never really played with each other, but the allegiances that we built in those 3 days helped me get here. It helped you see that you could trust me, at least for a vote, for a Lauren vote, which I really needed, for the Rhea vote, which I really needed. And I didn't think there was going to be a final 2, which is why I said, hey, let's do a final 2 together. I was fully expecting a final 3. And that was another check I couldn't cash. But that was after the Katie blindside, the Jason blindside, the Tana blindside. You know. So my relationships in this game got me here. And my relationships in this game, I think, will get the respect from you so I can win this game.
Hopefully you guys got whatever answers you needed. And remember, you are voting
Okay,
for
so
a
look at
winner.
our jury. They will be selecting a winner
So please write the right name
for
down.
this game. Can you
We will start on
survive
the left and go to the right. Just, you know,
2023?
one last time.
So I am going to come over here. So the jury will be voting for this final stream. I have a special guest. This is Kyle. Kyle is last year's winner of this game, so he's going to discuss with me what we feel about this final tribal. I got a little teary-eyed there. That was a very emotional. I never in my life, and I watched Survivor since season 1, and I've watched a lot of these live reality games. I never in my life felt that there are 2 deserving winners, and I wish 2 people could win because they both
2 phenomenal players.
amazing. So we're just gonna go through this, some of the questions, some of the responses, and what sets them apart. You want to start?
Yeah,
Or-
let's start out. So I think we have 2 very interesting players here. I think they came from different angles when they started it. So I think Alan was very confident and really leaned into his strategic gameplay and relationships and was answering a lot of questions pretty solidly. He had answers ready to roll. Where I feel like Arliana was kind of going with an underdog story. You know, she knew coming into the game she had some doubts in herself, and she talked a lot about how she overcame those and really how she changed through the course of the game. So I thought that was interesting that they had 2 different approaches. Like Alan was confident from the start, and Arliana was like, I built up my game. So interesting to see what the jury is going to value when it comes to that.
Yes, so it's also interesting that they kind of were saying different things, but in this game, they worked together the entire time. So they have played similar games, if not identical games,
Right.
but their approach to pleading to the jury was very different. I think it was a blindside, including production, when they mentioned the core 4, because the core 4 all along was not Rhea and Jason with Katie and Alan. It was Katie and Alan with Arliana and Tana. So that was the blind side of the season, because everyone was like, oh wow, that's the core 4. And that alone, to me, sets Arliana out like, oh wow, she was doing an amazing job at covering up who she's close with in this game, because nobody suspected that. So that was very impressive for me. I think Alan responds to, well, his final thing, he highlighted his strategic, social, and physical challenge wins. He painted those out and gave specific examples about why those were better, or how he did those things in the game, which I thought was interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I think both of them did play very similar games. They started in opposite tribes, but because of the one world twist, they were actually very close with each other's loved ones. So I think that really helped with both of their games. But it's hard when it's one world to really differentiate each other's games. So Alan really talked about the relationships he built. And it was just amazing to see how close these players got over the past 4 days. We saw some of the jurors, like Katie, even crying when they walked up there saying, you were my two people, and now you're sitting there, and I'm so proud of you. And you really don't see that in a lot of Survivor games because, usually, maybe one or two of your closest allies make it to the end. So it's very impressive that they've been playing together for so long and getting that reward of seeing, even if I don't win, the person I've been with from the beginning is going to take this.
Exactly. So I think it's like so ironic that this season is blood versus water because these pairs came in and it's almost like they're family. Mm-hmm. They came in as water and now these two pairs are blood, which I'm like, amazing. There couldn't be a better ending than this, especially for a season. It's just, it's perfect.
Yeah, and both of them played such amazing games. We look at the strategy, and they were wheeling and dealing the entire time through. There were parts of the game, we thought that Arliana was on the, thought she was on the end, but she wasn't. But it turns out she was, she knew what was going on the whole time and knew where those relationships were. But I think that's really impressive, to be able to kind of conceal in the background, like, okay, I know these players are playing, and here's who they're close with, but I'm just going to hang back and kind of wait for my opportunity. And Alan was one of the players that was always kind of in the know, in the end. I don't think he actually ever got a vote against him, so I'm surprised he didn't highlight that. Kind of thinking back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't receive a vote the entire game. So interesting that he didn't highlight that as well as kind of one of his strengths. His closing speech.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if he did. I can't remember off the top of my head. But for I forgot what I was gonna say. I had something good to say and I forgot. It was something going off of what you said, but it's all good. So for Arliana, that's what I was gonna say. She said that she was almost not gonna play this game because of confidence, that she felt that she couldn't do it. Yet in the game, she was so confident in her allies, in the challenges, everything, and she proved to herself that, she can do this, and that she hit all of the elements of Survivor with the social aspect, with the physical aspect, and she really killed that and proved to herself that she is capable and great at the game. Alan came in and he had a huge target on his back. And the fact that he wasn't even considered for many of the votes and that there were all of these blind sides and things played and he managed to skate by as somebody who is perceived as a huge threat by so many people is insanely impressive. Yes. So that just goes to show the types of social game these two players were playing, because even Arliana didn't receive a vote until, I think, Final 6. Yeah. So the fact that these two strong social players made it this far with such big targets or perceived as big threats is really iconic.
Yeah, and even when their duos were targeted, so them and their loved one were targeted, somehow they avoided being that target. I think they always knew that their loved one was going to be targeted before them, which goes to show that they were positioning themselves really well. Even though you want your loved one to stand as well as possible, it's good not to be the one that stands out.
Nope. It's time already. Oh my god. Okay. Well, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I will be happy with whatever outcome.
Two amazing winners.
Yeah. So whatever outcome, I wish they both could win, to be honest. But yes, I'm excited. Okay, so we are about to find out who the winner will be for Can You Survive? This is the red game.
I will go get the votes. You guys are going to hang out for a few more minutes. We're going to get blue all down here. And then we will reveal the winners of both games. But for now, you guys can chat. Please do not reveal who you voted for. Just enjoy hanging out.
Can we hang out with them?
Yeah, absolutely. It's over. Everyone's voted.
All right, so I am going to end the stream. I'm assuming that we'll go on one stream. We will reveal the 2 winners of Can You Survive? Blood versus Water. We will see you guys shortly. So stay on the page because it's going to be happening soon. All right.